Right guys, welcome back to Earn the Weekend. In the last few videos I spoke about how to draw up a budget, talking about direct debits, essential spending and any other things that that might go out of our accounts in a year or a month, and that'll give us a bit of an idea. And then we also talked about an emergency fund, what it is and how much you might need. So what I want to focus on today in this video and the next few videos is the things we spend money on and how to maybe reduce them, or things to consider with regards to them. So the one I want to look at today is mortgages and rent. Now, people's biggest outgoings generally fall into four main categories. There's housing, food, transport, and recreation. Now, this is according to a survey carried out by the Money Advice Service, and that was in 2018. Okay, so 2018, so it might be slightly different now, but it's probably going to be fairly similar. So when you've got a mortgage, there's two situations. You're either going to have a deal, maybe a fixed deal or a track deal or one or two other deals, types of deal, I don't know. But if those deals expire, then go on to what's called the standard variable rate. Now what this is the bank's rate if you're not on a mortgage deal, okay? And what this is typically is a bit more. You have to pay a little bit more, okay? Now, when I was looking earlier, it turns out that 25% of people are on the bank's standard variable rate. So all that means is they've got to the end of their mortgage deal and then they've not spoke to a mortgage broker or spoke to their bank about getting a new deal. And what that's then done is it's made their payments, their mortgage payments, more expensive. And so if I just give you a bit of an illustration using my own numbers, my current mortgage rate, I have a 2.16% mortgage rate, and that works out at a £574 a month mortgage payment. Now, at the time I got that mortgage deal, the bank's standard variable rate is was 3.99%. And what that would equate to if my mortgage deal were to end is my mortgage payments go up to £743. So that would be £170 difference. So if you're one of those people who's got a mortgage and you're not sure whether you're on the variable rate or not, make sure you go check, dig out the paperwork, and if you are on the standard variable rate, speak to a broker or speak to your bank. Your best bet is to speak to an independent mortgage broker, because they're going to have access to all the deals, and most of them are free, okay? Some you might pay a small fee, but they will be able to stay right and possibly able to save you money. So in my case, that's £170 a month difference, which is roughly £2,000 a year. So if I was to let my mortgage go onto the standard variable rate, I'd be £2,000 a year out of pocket. So, yeah, another thing to consider when you're talking about mortgages now, the interest rates are so low. They're as low as they've ever been, and they've been low for a long time, but just recently they've gone even lower. Okay, so if you can remortgage or you're close to the end of your deal, you really need to look into it, because you're going to be able to get a deal where you're going to be able to fix your mortgage for a long time at a really low percentage interest rate. Okay, now not everyone's got a mortgage. Some people rent. If you're renting, you might have what's called an assured short hold tenancy agreement with your landlord or housing association, and that's just a contract that'll be in place between the landlord and the tenant. Now when this is up and this is finished, you can maybe, and there's no harm in asking, just maybe ask if you can reduce the rent. There's not much data on this when you search for it, but I managed to find one article that said approximately 4% of people, it's not many, were successful when they're negotiating their rent to reduce it. So it's worth asking. It might not work, but just ask what you got to lose. Okay, so there are two things to consider. If you've got a mortgage, check that it's not a standard variable rate, and speak to a mortgage broker. Okay, they'll be able to show you all the deals, and you might be able to save yourself a lot of money. And if you're a renter, just ask, okay? If you've been with your landlord for a long time and you've been a good tenant, they may consider it, okay? Some landlords, there's an adage that I hear people say where no tenant is better than a bad tenant. So if you're a good tenant, they might do you that favour, they might want to look after you, okay? So these things you should maybe consider. Yeah, just find out what deal you're on with your mortgage and when it's going to expire. Okay, it might be able to save you a lot of money in the long run. All right, thanks a lot.